Now let's learn about using the equations of the logical functions in Excel. Those logical functions are including if, or statement, and using greater than, less than, greater or equal, less or equal on all those mathematical implementation into our equations. So as you can see, we have here a sheet. We have the column A, 1, 2, and 3. Then we have the decision. Let's say if the value in column A is larger than a certain value, that's acceptable. If it is less than a certain value, that's not acceptable. And we want to do that in a kind of semi-automated way through generating an equation. So we can go to the decision column over here. We can choose the cell corresponding to the first value in column A. Now we start to generate our equation. So we select the cell, then we go up here at the equation bar. So we can say if A2, which is the first value in column A, is greater than 1, then type acceptable. If not, then type not acceptable. So let's rewrite that so that you will learn what you expect as you're writing your equation. So we start with if. Now you can see that Excel is recognizing the f as a function. Open the parentheses. Now he's giving you a guidance over here. If you follow, that's useful for you. Whenever you see it's being written in bold, that means you are at that exact moment. Like right now, Excel is expecting you to put in the logical test. It means what are you testing mathematically to be able to give a true or a false value based on your test. In this case, we are asking if A2, like whatever value in cell A2, is greater than 1, then we will put a comma. You can see we're going to the next value if true. Now we're putting whatever value we want to show up if that is true. If A2 is greater than 1 in value, we want to type in acceptable. So you open two quotations so that you can print some text instead of having certain value. Of course, you can say 2. So if A2 greater than 1, he will show you number 2 in cell B2. But in this case, we want to print in some text, so we'll use the double quotation. So if A2 is greater than 1, acceptable. If not, so if the test is wrong or if it is false, so you can see we put a comma. Now he's taking us value if false. Open double quotations. In this way, I need Excel to write in that cell not acceptable. Now I can close the parentheses and hit enter to be able to see the output value. You can see here Excel is telling you not acceptable because A2 over here, which is 1, is not greater than 1. So he will give you the false action that you requested, which is typing in not acceptable if the value of the test is false. Now, how to move this equation? Same thing for B3 and B4. What we do, we copy whatever in cell B2 and we highlight where you want your equation to be pasted. You right click and you paste, but you don't just paste. Preferably, to avoid any confusion, you paste with in this paste icon with the function fx. Click on that, he will paste the equation. And you can see over here, it is acceptable for cell B3 and it is acceptable for cell B4 because number 2 is greater than 1 and number 3 is greater than 1 as well. Try and play around and see. Instead of typing in some text, you can, if A3 greater than 1, then put in number 2. If A3 is greater than 2, put in number 3, and so on. And you can change the test as well. If A3 equal to 0 or A3 less or equal to 1, and so on. The sky is the limit. You can put as much mathematical logical expressions as needed in the test and be able to let the data be semi-automated for you and replicate that equation along your column within your project.